When you're buying a home in Tucson, Arizona, do be aware of the direction your backyard is going to be facing. This is particularly important because the sun generally rises in the east and it generally sets in the west. If you're planning on hanging out in your backyard at the end of the day, like most people in Tucson do, even if you are going to have a pool in your backyard, you are going to want some shade. I'm not going to come out and say don't buy a home with a west-facing backyard, but keep in mind that at the end of the afternoon and even in the evening time, that summer sun is going to be beating down on you if your backyard faces west. And you're definitely going to want to invest in some giant umbrellas or ramadas or pergolas or some sort of backyard shade. That being said, I've worked with plenty of people moving here from Seattle and other areas with less sunshine. They specifically seek out the backyards facing west because they want the sun. To each his own. But as a born and raised Tucsonan, I'll take the shade of an east-facing backyard any day. Hey everyone, it's Kimberly, your go-to real estate agent in Tucson, Arizona, and today we are talking about the do's and don'ts of purchasing a Tucson home. And of course, I saved the most important tip for last, so please stick around to the end. I've lived in Tucson for 40 years. My dad has been a general contractor here for over 50 years, so trust me, I've been around a lot of Tucson homes. Purchasing real estate here is a little different from other areas, so there are things to consider when you make the move. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe to follow along with Tucson news and learn more about things to do and see and know about this city, my hometown. And when you or a friend is ready to purchase or sell some Tucson real estate, you know where to find me. All my contact information is in the description below each video on this YouTube channel. We have over 800 videos on the channel about Tucson and real estate, so binge watch the rest after this video. When you're purchasing a Tucson home, do purchase a home with a garage or at least a carport that can be converted. Obviously, this is just my personal opinion, but we have a lot of older homes in the Tucson area that do not have any type of covered parking, and I strongly believe that a garage or at least a covered car parking space is an absolute necessity in Tucson, Arizona and the surrounding areas. Keep in mind that our homes are smaller square footage here than some homes that you would find in the Midwest or other areas, and we do not generally have basements or upstairs lofts for storage. People put their storage, their boxes, their holiday decorations, their bicycles, and so much more in the garage. But cars need to be parked in the garage to protect them from sun damage, and some homeowners associations don't even allow cars to be parked on the street, so you need to have them in your driveway or the garage. But if the home you fall in love with comes with a carport and not a garage, don't worry. Most contractors that I've worked with can easily convert a carport into a garage. I encourage you to invite a contractor out to the property during your due diligence period to give you a quote for what it might cost to convert a carport into a garage. While you're at it, if there is a homeowners association or if there are CC&Rs for the area, make sure that they allow you to convert your carport into a garage. They probably will, but you want to make sure before you buy any home that you can do with the property what you want to do. Speaking of due diligence period, don't, for any reason whatsoever, forfeit your inspections. In addition to your standard home inspection, do get at least one roof inspection, a termite inspection, a pool inspection if your home has a pool, and maybe even an HVAC inspection if the home inspector finds anything suspicious going on with your air conditioning unit. I often encourage buyers to also get a sewer scope done of their sewer lines. Home inspectors will look everything over, but it never hurts to get a second set of eyes from the professional trades who will also give you a quote for repairs if anything is broken. A lot of my buyers are moving from places where it is crucial to have a well-maintained furnace and a young and healthy water heater. But here in Tucson, you really want to make sure that your air conditioning unit is working well come summertime. In general, the biggest expenses if something needs to be replaced are going to be HVAC and roof, although I see very pricey swimming pool related issues that come up from time to time, and of course it's not cheap or fun to replace a sewer line. We do have subterranean termites here, and our termites are generally very slow moving compared to other parts of the country, but almost everyone in Tucson gets termites at some point. As my home inspector says, in Tucson, nothing is certain except death, taxes, and termites. Do be prepared that you will probably end up purchasing a home with a homeowners association attached. This is kind of a sore spot for a lot of my buyers, and I actually don't blame them one bit. A lot of people don't like homeowners association rules, and just as many people don't like homeowners association dues. Unfortunately, most Tucson homes built in the 1990s until now, especially those in any type of subdivision, generally have an HOA attached to it, which can come with rules and monthly or quarterly or annual fees. But please don't let that keep you from purchasing a beautiful Tucson home. Some of our homeowners associations are well worth the monthly fee. We have communities here that offer community pools, fitness centers, walking paths, well-maintained roads and sidewalks, pickleball, basketball, parks, gates to decrease traffic in the neighborhood, and even lakes. I actually have more buyers tell me that our HOA fees are reasonable here compared to most other places. I rarely see HOA dues exceeding $100 a month, and even then, those are in communities that have a ton of amenities. If you decide to purchase a home with the Homeowners Association, do make sure you are well informed of all the rules and regulations before you purchase the property. Can you park your car on the street overnight? Can you build an additional structure on your lot? Can you plant tall trees or put in tall sheds in the backyard? Make sure you know the answers to these questions before your due diligence period expires. When you move to the Tucson area, do consider the lifestyle that you will be living. That might seem like a silly thing to say, but most of the time when people move here from other places, they find that their lifestyle changes just as much as their house has changed. A lot of people move here and start hiking or cycling more than they used to, or they start mountain biking or even rock climbing, or they start going out to dinner more often or to shows, or they start walking at parks more often, or they get a dog, or they join clubs, or they start volunteering, or whatever. But even more often than all of those things, people often move here and end up hanging out in their backyard for at least half the day, almost year round. Some people have pools, some people have fire pits or built-in backyard kitchens, and a lot of people just have a nice little covered patio where they sit and sip their morning coffee or an evening glass of wine or whatever. The reason I mention all of this is because when you're moving to Tucson, keep in mind that the outdoor living space and surroundings might be just as important as the indoor living space, if not more important, depending on the lifestyle that you may be enjoying once you get here. When you purchase a home in the Tucson area, do consider purchasing a home with a pool, but also don't consider purchasing a home with a pool. I know, I'm kind of messing with your mind here, but a lot of people in Tucson have pools and they find them to be too much maintenance and hassle, and they never even use them, while other people enjoy their backyard pools every single day. Some of my clients are perfectly happy purchasing homes in communities that have community pools, so they don't have to maintain them. Some of my clients purchase beautiful homes with a large backyard, and they end up putting in a pool with a pool company shortly after purchasing the home, which gives them the ability to design the pool exactly how they want it to be. Of course, you need to budget for that well in advance because putting in a pool can cost a pretty penny. But if you do purchase a home that already has a pool, don't skip that pool inspection during the due diligence period. Pools can be fantastic and beautiful and refreshing, but they can also be very expensive to maintain. So make sure you understand exactly what you're purchasing and how to maintain the pool, or hire a professional to do it for you. Do consider the wall around the outside back or front yard of the home. We have plenty of wild animals here, from coyotes to javelinas and snakes and pack rats to bobcats. Anything can get into the yard, but a wall will help. A brick wall will be very expensive to put up. A wrought iron fence will require additional snake fencing, and a wooden fence might not have a very long life depending on how it's built and maintained. If you have pets or small children, you may want to purchase a home that already has a wall or fence built around the yard. The good news for buyers is most of our homes here already come with that, because most of us Tucsonans have pets and children ourselves. Now we come to the final and what I believe to be the most important thing to consider when purchasing Tucson real estate. It's probably the most important thing to keep in mind when you're purchasing real estate anywhere in the world, but it is location. Tucson is not known for having big, easily accessible freeways or great roads that are really fun to drive on. Some areas are better than others, but trust me, I am a real estate agent and all I do is drive all over the city and suburbs all day long. You don't want to be driving all over the city if you don't have to. Therefore, take it from a realtor and born and raised Tucsonan, do explore the Tucson area area well before you begin the actual house hunt. Do consult friends, family, and coworkers regarding different areas if you're not familiar with the communities and suburbs when you are purchasing here. Do drive around the area to familiarize yourself with different neighborhoods prior to making an offer on a home. Do pay attention to the distance to your children's school, your work, your favorite restaurants, medical facilities, veterinary clinics, grocery stores, businesses, parks, and anything else that you plan to do in Tucson. And of course, above all else, do team up with a realtor who is a Tucson expert who works all over the city and knows the areas well when you begin that home search. I hope you've learned a little bit about the do's and don'ts when you are purchasing a Tucson home. If you did, you can thank me by giving my name to a friend who is purchasing or selling a home in the Tucson area. All my contact information is in the description below each video on this YouTube channel, and remember to binge watch the other 800 plus videos on the channel to learn more about things to do and see and know about this city, my hometown. Comment below with your advice to anyone purchasing a home in the Tucson area, and don't forget to show the channel some love by liking and subscribing on your way out the door. I really appreciate you hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next Tucson video or when we go to buy or sell a home together.